tonight. And with the new season comes new hope that our NBA team can finally break their 16-year playoff drought. Kings color analyst Katie Christensen joins us now live here to talk about all of the buzz around this new season. Welcome to Fox 40 News at 11.
Oh, good morning. This is a big day, exciting day. So I'm ready to go.
Awesome. Hopefully the team is too. The Kings front office made a lot of moves last season, and during the summer we have a new coach and a significant number of new players out there on the court. Has the new talent kind of changed the Kings culture? What kind of changes have you noticed?
You know, I think the culture change obviously starts with the head coach, and Mike Brown certainly has brought that. He's brought championship experience, both, working with LeBron in the past, but also most recently the Golden State Warriors. So, the Kings have been really, really fantastic in the preseason. So I think everyone is anxious to see how this transfers over to the regular season. They have a tough road ahead of them, obviously the Blazers tonight, but then they face the Clippers, who are healthy. They face Golden State on the road, Miami. I mean, they've got a tough schedule the first 5 games. That's why this one is even more important tonight at Golden One Center.
All right. Now, some of those players added to the roster seem to indicate that the front office is betting on De'Aaron Fox to be their franchise player. For example, trading away guard Tyrese Halliburton for Sabonis, an all-star forward center, and signing De'Aaron's old college roommate, Malik Monk, to the team. What do you think the Kings' strategy is when it comes to De'Aaron Fox, and do you think the team around De'Aaron could elevate him to all-star status?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of additions that include outside shooting with Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter. And I think that is a big thing to kind of expand De'Aaron Fox's game, because he is one of the quickest, fastest guards getting to the paint, getting to the bucket. And if you have shooters around him, it opens up those lanes, those possibilities. And then obviously playing alongside Domantas Sabonis, who is probably the best passing big man in the game, who has also been working on his outside shot during the season. I mean, that really is just adding pieces that is supposed to make it easier for the talent that they have. The key piece of that, of course, being De'Aaron Fox.
The 4th-round pick that the Kings drafted, Keegan Murray, definitely has fans excited with his summer league performance, but he was put on health and safety protocols following a positive COVID test. Do you know if he'll be able to check in for the home opener, or when could he be expected to return? And what did you see from Murray during the summer league that you think will carry over into this season?
Well, I have bad news. He is not available for tonight. He is out on today's NBA injury report. They update it throughout the day, and the fact that he is already listed as out this early. I think that Mike Brown has said that he really wanted him to have a practice before he returned. So the good news about that, hopefully he will be back Saturday at home against the Clippers. But in terms of your second question, in terms of what I saw from him, I mean, he's mesmerizing. He is a very talented young rookie. He's, kind of fits in line with what general manager Monte McNair has done in his time here in Sacramento. He's drafted guys that have played longer in college, more developed, more experience. And so we're seeing a more complete picture of what he really is going to be. He shot 70% in the 2 preseason games that he played from the perimeter. He was 7 of 10 from long range. So, with his size, his scoring capability, and I think he is going to be able to be one of those pieces that will defensively make a difference for this Kings team. He is very, very impressive. There's really not any words to explain. You got to come and kind of see it with your own eyes.
All right, and we know Coach is all about defense. Fans got excited that the Kings were undefeated this preseason, but they were also undefeated in preseason of 2021, and we know how that season worked out. So what true insight does preseason give us, and what do you think their winning streak will mean for the regular season?
I think it really is just about momentum. You're right. The preseason, it doesn't really count for much. But I think when you look at how they won, they really did a great job of locking teams down. Their opponents averaged less than 90 points a game combined in those 4 games. But the Kings were blowing teams out by double digits. I mean, some 30-plus point games. So what I saw was that they are in constant movement on both the offensive and defensive end of the floor, which offensively last year I felt like there was a lot of stagnant play from them. It made it hard for De'Aaron Fox to get in and really operate, because defenses were able to focus on him more. So I really like Mike Brown's system offensively and the constant movement, but also on the defensive end. I mean, they are making multiple efforts on the defensive end. So you've got the first, second line of defense, and even the third coming in very active. And that's what's really going to help as a collective whole, as a team, to be able to get stops on that end. And stops, of course, lead to being able to run out and make offense easy.
Yeah, now Kings fans are some of the most loyal in the NBA, having been starved of postseason action for, we're going to say it again, 16 seasons now. What can fans expect this year that will be different, say, from the last decade, if we're going to look back that far? What is going to change right now?
Well, you know, I think Mike Brown really is a great get by Monte McNair to kind of lead this team. He has a tremendous staff, obviously, you know, with some guys that he's had, but also Doug Christie, who kind of harkens back to the golden days here in Sacramento. So, you know, I think that the best thing about it is that I joined the team in the 06-07 season, which was the first year that they missed the playoffs. And this is by far the most talented roster that I've seen since that year. And of course, that was Mike Bibby, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Brad Miller, Kevin Martin, Francisco Garcia, some of these guys that Kings fans are very familiar with. But that's when they started blowing up the team. So it's about roster. It's about the talent you have. And this is by far the most talented team that the Kings have had in quite some time.
Well, that's what's keeping those hopes very, very high. As always, appreciate your insight and very excited to have it this morning on this momentous day on Fox 40 News at 11. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
My pleasure. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.